guided by the fighter mentor. The day does not break all at once. It falls apart in threads. One misplaced thought, one rushed response, one small excess no one takes seriously. Discipline exists to hold those threads before they become disorder. It does not shout. It does not rush. It does not ask for spectacle. It simply keeps the mind from being pulled out of its own axis. If this is making sense, leave a like, turn on notifications, and subscribe to the channel. There is a kind of beginning that seems harmless, but that is exactly where direction is born, in the way you breathe, in the way you enter your work, in the way you do not hand your rhythm over to the first noise that appears. Mental health is not decoration. It is a point of support. When it fails, everything feels heavier than it is. When it holds, even what demands effort stops feeling like a threat. And it was in a place almost no one pays attention to that this truth appeared with force. Title: The Morning on the Service Bridge. Before traffic swallowed the city, a crew was already up on a service bridge. The ground was still damp from the night. The reflective paint on the sign seemed almost lit under the cold light. One person walked slowly between cones and tools, checking every detail before the flow of cars began. There was no rush, no audience, only the awareness that one small mistake there could become a problem later on. That is what changed the way they worked. It was not about doing more. It was about doing it right before the speed of the world pushed everything into improvisation. If this is making sense, leave a like, turn on notifications, and subscribe to the channel. In that setting, discipline had nothing harsh about it. It had precision. It had respect for what holds others up without being seen. It was a silent care of adjusting what was necessary before the problem grew. The ability to remain attentive even without recognition, and the maturity to understand that stability is almost always built from small corrections repeated every day. Focus works that way too. It is not constant tension. It is staying with what matters while everything else tries to distract you. It is continuing to look at what needs to be adjusted until the right shape appears. And when that happens, the mind stops running in circles and begins to hold a clear direction, firm enough to cross noise without getting lost in it. There are people who spend the whole day putting out fires they started without even noticing. Others learn to reduce the fuel before the spark. The second way is quieter, but it is also smarter, because conscious productivity is not a race without direction. It is managing energy with clarity. It is understanding when to move forward and when to stop enough to avoid losing yourself inside. That same principle later appeared in a different way, in a different place. This time, not on a bridge, but in a space where time seemed to leave visible marks on every object touched. Title: Restoration Workshop. In a small restoration workshop, a wooden table received old pieces worn down by use. There was a chair with patched fabric, a cracked frame, a rusted iron piece. Nothing there asked for speed. Everything asked for attention. One person ran their hands over each item like someone reading the condition of something that could still work again. First clean, then observe, then touch only what is necessary. What is interesting is that this care did not stay inside the work. It spilled into the way of living. The person who used to start the day scattered began entering the hours with more order. The person who used to get lost in impulses began noticing their own limits more clearly. The person who used to try to fix everything at once learned to respect the timing of each adjustment. This is a part almost no one sees. The mind also needs restoration, not pressure, not excess, just enough attention to give shape back to what the rush has warped. It is in that quiet care that the weight begins to lift. Thought starts organizing the path again, and what seemed too worn finds structure continue. When you protect what enters, you also protect what remains. When you protect what remains, the day stops being a battle without edges, and what once felt scattered begins to take shape, boundaries, and direction. Little by little, the mind stops reacting to everything and starts choosing better where to place energy, time, and presence. There is a big difference between moving and progressing, between filling hours and building direction, between being tired and being truly drained. Many people spend a whole day in motion and still end it without presence, without clarity, and without any sense of progress. Because real progress is not born from excess movement, but from energy placed into what truly sustains a path. Mature discipline understands this. It does not force. It aligns. It does not trample. It preserves. It does not need noise to exist. It proves itself in what stays steady when everything around it tries to turn into excess. Breathe now, slowly. Inhale, hold, exhale. Feel your mind lose a little of its hardness. There is quiet strength in those who learn to make less noise inside. It is not weakness. It is mastery. Those who master their own attention stop living in improvisation, and that changes the way they face each hour of the day, because the mind no longer scatters at everything that appears. It sustains what matters, avoids useless reactions, and keeps steady what was chosen consciously, even when the environment tries to pull in another direction. And that is what changes everything. The day stops being a place where life happens against you and becomes a space where you finally manage to build without falling apart in the process. The difference is in stopping treating every moment as a threat and starting to treat it as building material. That way, what once tired and fragmented you becomes a base for something steadier, clearer, and more yours, without requiring you to lose yourself in order to keep going. Those who learn to align their own rhythm stop surviving the day and begin shaping it from within. When that happens, even ordinary tasks gain shape and stop feeling like a chaotic sequence of obligations. The body responds with less tension, the mind with more clarity, and presence stops being brute effort and becomes a natural part of the path. And presence, when it is maintained, becomes silent support. It does what excess never can. It organizes from within, strengthens what was fragile, and creates space for change to stop being a wish and start becoming reality. If this idea reached you, do not let it go so easily. There are things that do not need rush to change your life. They only ask for presence,